All right, get ready because this deep dive is taking us all the way to India.
Oh, cool.
Lucknow, India, to be exact.
Okay, nice.
And we're checking out this place. It's called Happiness Park.
Happiness Park. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not just like a cute name, though, right? This park is designed around this whole waste to wonder theme.
Hmm.
And we've got this really cool blog post
Cool.
from these two friends that visited, and they are so excited about it. Their enthusiasm is infectious, and you're going to get to experience that with us today.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what jumps out at you right away when you hear about this waste to wonder thing?
Well, I mean, it's more than just using recycled stuff, right? It's a whole design philosophy, and we're seeing it more and more all over the world.
Right.
Cities turning trash into public art.
Yeah.
That's both beautiful and makes you think, you know?
I like it.
Yeah.
And they chose a really neat spot for this park, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's in this place called Daliganj in Lucknow. And in the blog post, they really emphasize like how much this green space adds to the whole vibe.
That makes sense. you know?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How often do you feel like happier, more relaxed when you're surrounded by nature?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, cities everywhere are starting to realize that green spaces aren't just pretty to look at.
Totally.
They really do make people feel better.
Yeah.
And this park, it seems like, is taking that idea and like really going all in with all the art and activities and everything.
So, okay, get this. You're walking through this really colorful park,
Okay.
and then you come across this area that's all about old Indian games.
Oh,
I love modern stuff, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But the way these bloggers describe this section, it makes it sound like going back in time in the best way possible.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it makes me think, like, we're all so bombarded by screens and digital stuff these days.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right. So this resurgence of these, like, traditional games, often very physical, it's
Yeah.
like we're craving something more,
More mindful.
yes, mindful, exactly, and more hands-on.
Yeah.
The blog specifically calls out Gilly Danda and Pithu.
Gilly Danda.
Yeah, which I'll admit sent me straight to Google.
Uh-huh.
What are those?
Okay, so Gilly Danda. Imagine a game of seesaw, but with, like, baseball mixed in.
Okay.
Use a stick to launch this little piece of wood, the gilly, and you try to hit it as far as you can.
Okay.
It takes some real skill, too, not easy.
Oh, wow.
And then Pithu, that's more about, like, strategy and working together,
Okay.
kind of like bowling, but on the street.
I like it.
You use stones to knock down this target.
I love learning about different cultures like this.
Me too.
Makes you realize there's so much out there.
For sure.
But it goes beyond just knowing about these games.
Right.
I'm thinking, like, how could we bring these games to kids today?
Mm.
Like, on modern playgrounds.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question.
Right.
It makes you think about how we design play spaces
Mm.
and what skills we want kids to develop.
Yeah, totally.
These traditional games, they build hand-eye coordination, strategic thinking, teamwork, and those are all important, whether you're playing on a field
Right.
or, working in an office someday.
Okay, now we got to talk about the main attraction here, the recycled art.
Yes.
Our bloggers, they were blown away by this stuff. They called it creative, intricate, and they were not expecting it.
It's not just about seeing recycled things, right? It's about how it's transformed into art.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what makes it so captivating.
It's that waste to wonder in action.
Exactly.
And it's not just, like, pretty to look at. It makes you think
It does.
about what we throw away and how we consume things.
For sure.
There's so much potential, even in what we consider trash.
Absolutely. There's a whole movement happening in art and design
Yeah.
using recycled materials.
So cool.
I mean, think about those giant sculptures made from, like, plastic from the ocean,
Wow.
or installations made entirely from old electronics.
That's amazing.
They're incredible to see, but they also really make you think about sustainability.
Yeah, it's like seeing trash turned into art makes the environmental message hit harder somehow.
It does, doesn't it?
It's not just a number. It's right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's personal.
Okay, so now you're listening and thinking, I got to see this happiness park for myself.
Uh-huh, I know, right?
The good news is it's super affordable,
That's great.
which is another cool part of this waste to wonder thing.
Yeah, making joy and sustainability accessible to everyone,
Yeah.
not just a select few.
What did the blog say the fees were?
Oh, right. They said it's just 30 rupees for kids and seniors
Okay.
and 50 for adults.
That's like, what, less than $1?
Yeah, like 35 cents and 60 cents.
Oh.
That's a steal, especially compared to, like, going to the movies or a theme park.
It's a conscious choice. They're really showing that experiencing joy and being in nature shouldn't be a luxury.
For sure.
I love that.
Everyone deserves it.
Yeah.
So if you are planning a trip, It's open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Good to know.
Makes me wonder, though, that, with the weather and Lucknow and people's schedules,
Yeah.
who gets to enjoy those hours the most? Tourists who are more flexible, or locals who are trying to squeeze it in after work or school?
That's a good question.
It really makes you think about how we design cities to
Yeah.
fit different needs and lifestyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real challenge, right?
Right, yeah.
Making a city work for everyone, tourists, and the people who live there.
It's like, how do you make all the pieces fit? You know what really struck me in that blog post, though? How much they talked about feeling connected at this park.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the art or the games. It was something more.
Makes you think about how we're all wired to be social,
Yeah.
We need community,
Totally.
but then modern life can be so isolating.
Oh, yeah. Stuck in traffic, staring at our phones like all the time.
So maybe places like Happiness Park are like an antidote to that.
Right.
A way to unplug and reconnect with ourselves and each other.
In real life.
Yeah, face to face,
It's not just about the stuff in the park.
Right.
It's about how that stuff helps people interact.
Those games, for instance, they encourage people to cooperate
Yeah.
and have some friendly competition.
I like that.
The art gets people talking about sustainability, creativity.
And even just walking around a park with other people,
Mhm.
it creates a shared experience. It's funny, I can practically picture myself there,
Right.
surrounded by people, and I haven't even been to India.
The power of a good story.
It got me thinking, like, what would my ideal happiness park be like?
Ooh, I love that question.
What would I need to feel that same connection?
It's a good way to figure out what brings you joy
Right.
and then how to create a space that reflects that.
For me, it would definitely have to have a focus on learning and exploring.
Oh, nice.
Maybe an outdoor library tucked away among the trees
Love that.
where you could just relax with a good book
Mm-hmm.
and all the sounds of nature around you.
So peaceful.
What about like a hands-on science center? Oh, cool.
Where you could learn about the local ecosystem,
Yeah.
the history of the area,
Mhm.
maybe even workshops on traditional crafts and stuff,
That would be amazing.
and a performance space
Ooh.
for local musicians and artists to share their talent.
Yes. Imagine a concert under the stars
That would be mad.
with the whole community gathered around.
Oh, and we can't forget about food.
Of course not.
A market with local, sustainable food.
Yes.
Fresh produce, regional specialties,
Delicious.
made with love and shared with friends and neighbors.
We're on a roll here. We've gone from one park to designing our own utopia.
It's fun to imagine the possibilities, though, right?
It is. And the best part is, it doesn't have to be just a fantasy.
Right.
We can take these ideas and make them happen in our own communities.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be on a huge scale. It
Yeah.
could be a community garden,
Mm-hmm.
a neighborhood cleanup.
Or even just putting away our phones for a while
Yeah.
and spending time with people. It's about shifting our mindset,
How so?
from passively consuming to actively creating joy
I like that.
and connection.
And who knows, maybe just by talking about these ideas,
Yeah.
will inspire someone listening
I hope.
to create their own little piece of happiness park.
Wherever they are in the world.
That would be pretty awesome.
It would. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Happiness Park, it would be amazing to hear about those places, right?
Absolutely. So, have you ever found a place that's like that really embodies that happiness park spirit?
Maybe it's a park
Yeah.
or a community center,
Mm-hmm.
even just like a hidden spot in nature
Yeah.
that gives you that feeling of peace and belonging.
Tell us about it. Share your stories and your favorite places.
Yeah, and what are your ideas for creating these kinds of spaces?
Right. The ones that bring people together and,
Nourish our souls.
Yes.
Everyone's got a unique perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Your story could inspire someone else.
To make their own little bit of happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got to say, wrapping up this deep dive into Happiness Park,
Yeah,
I feel really inspired.
me too.
It's more than just a place to visit, right?
It is.
It's a reminder that happiness and connection are things we can create ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right where we are.
With a little intention.
And a little creativity.
Exactly.
That's a powerful message.
It really is. And it's something we can all take with us.
Wherever we go.
Yeah, whether we're designing a park,
Right.
organizing an event,
Mm-hmm.
or just choosing to spend our free time in ways that make us feel good.
That's what it's all about.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for coming with us on this virtual trip to Lucknow's Happiness Park.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We hope you're feeling energized
Inspired.
and maybe even a little more connected to the world around you.
And, as always,
Yeah.
keep exploring, Keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
Keep looking for those moments that make you say, this is it,
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.
into a whole new world of fascinating topics.
Until then.
Stay curious.
Yeah.